All right, I got one of my burner TikTok accounts banned for talking about peptides. So let's see if we can run up YouTube and talk about peptides here. I want to give you kind of like a no nonsense truth from someone who's been in the peptide space and selling peptides for, I don't know, a good amount of months now. And what they do, which ones actually have value. So it's going to be completely unedited, and I'm going to try to go pretty fast through it all. First off, I'll start by saying I don't think anyone, I think how you should view peptides for the majority of them are similar to how you should view steroids, like PEDs, like performance enhancing drugs, in the sense that you should be doing cycles and you should try to get to your natural limits first and then try peptides. I see a lot of people who are kids who are like 18, 19 and hopping on Retta and stuff. And it's like, dude, did you try like eating less fat and walking every day and stuff like that? You know, it's like, come on, man. um, so if you're young and if you're like of average health, like if you like pretty much have your health, like kind of stay away from peptides, man. Like there's no inherent reason why you should be messing around with that stuff, you know? But if you're someone who's obese or you have like a serious health issue that you've been working on for a long time, I think peptides are kind of like the coolest frontier of medicine, probably since like early antibiotics, like penicillin and stuff, which was what, like the 1920s, 1930s. Um, so I want to break it down. I've taken pretty much every peptide. I got sick last year and ended up finding out I had like early fatty liver, early signs of diabetes, pre-diabetes, all this good stuff. That kind of led me to experimenting with Retta. I did Retta for a few months, then I came off of it, and then I did another cycle of it. Liver's good now, and I think a lot of people are viewing GLP-1s and retatrutide the wrong way. I think there's a lot of negative effects of retatrutide that aren't talked about enough. Like it pretty much like blunts everything. Like they talk about that anhedonia. It's like it blocks your ability to feel pleasure from things because of the it agonizes three different GLP, GIP, and G something receptors, and the third one is the one that it regulates your dopamine signals when it initially was thought to regulate your dopamine signals when it came to food. So you would think about eating less and you would think about food less. But they came to find out that this third thing that Reddit agonizes, I forget if it's the GIP or I forget which one it is, but it actually blunts your dopamine for all things. So this could be good for some people. A lot of people with addiction, like if it's alcohol or cigarettes or whatever kind of addiction you have, you'll lose interest. Like almost immediately, like a week or two into doing Retta, you'll lose interest in whatever you're addicted to, which is good initially, but then long term it's bad because the higher you go in dosages, the more this like dopamine blunting effect happens, and it's I found it to be very bad. I don't know. I found it to be like I couldn't write anymore. I couldn't really speak confidently anymore. I just felt like a shell of a human being. Like I felt like a zombie NPC who had like no original thoughts. And yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. It's similar to like energy drinks. Like there's a lot of stuff we don't know about Retta yet. And being on it for a long time, I think if you're gonna experiment with Retta or any GLP, TERS, whatever, I think you should aim for like 6 months. Anything more than 6 months, I think, is like diminishing returns. And because I was noticing at like the 5, 6 month mark, being on Retta is no personality. My writing got a lot worse. My desire to create things got worse. I got hit with a big wave of depression when I upped the dose to like 5, 6 milligrams, and I would just want to do nothing. And it's like I wasn't happy or I wasn't sad. I just sat there. And it's like, I don't think that's healthy because the anhedonia thing that you get from Reddit with the dopamine blending effect, it ruin it ruins your motivation, you know. And you need the ups and downs of your emotions to be able to get a grasp of your ability to motivate yourself, you know. So blunting that whole dopamine reward system, it's good initially, like if you're, you know, addicted to drugs or you're in a tough spot in life and you need to kind of jump back. Cool, it could be good for that, but long term, I think it's bad. So, and obviously, Reddit is the most popular. If you go to my link tree, there's like a cool kind of it's called Reddit guide. It's a little document you could download. I put a good amount of time and effort into, and it's like some kind of rules and ways to go about taking Reddit and how to think about it and how to work with supplements and your diet and all this kind of BS. Now that Reddit is out of the way, I want to talk about the peptides I'm more interested in. I think currently, to me, the most interesting peptide is Clo, and in particular KPV from the Clo, which is three. I mean, all peptides are chains of amino acids, but this is a very small one. It's lysine, proline, and valine. And of the popular peptides, it's one of the smallest ones, and it's one of the lowest molecular weight ones. And this thing, it's like not really well understood, and it's kind of a lot of the more fringe ones that aren't GLP ones are really not understood. And there's people actually experimenting and doing research with them and applying these molecules, these chains of amino acids to their problems. And something I've seen personally with KPV and Clo, if you have any kind of mold, bacterial biofilms, all these things that are kind of found in the gut that cause, you know, Crohn's, IBS, what's the other one with the colon? Ulcerative colitis, like all of these ones. I think KPV, BPC is the one that's talked about a lot. They've done a lot of animal studies where BPC can help these problems because it rebuilds the tissue and it's derived from gastric juice. But KPV to me is actually more interesting for like, because it's so small of a molecule, it's able to get into the cells and like it signals, it's some kind of like, it's related to like melatonin or something like this. And it's able to switch off signals for inflammation and for pathogens slightly. And there's a lot of like, if you go on forums and stuff, there's a lot of people talking about KPV and Clo for Lyme, biofilms, ulcerative colitis, food intolerances. Like it's able to go in and just kind of like turn off the switches and let the bad stuff out, which is like very cool. And I've been taking Clo for like a couple weeks now, and it's changed my digestion. Like haven't had this good digestion in like, I don't know, forever, like since I was a kid or something. I've always personally had issues with digestion. Is this recording? Yeah, it is. Okay. So to me, everyone kind of gets introduced and they think about peptides from the lens of GLP-1s because they see the Serena Williams commercial. Oh, you can get Ozempic pill for $55 a week or whatever. And it's like, dude, who fucking cares? And it's like Retta and Turs and all the other GLP-1s. They're cool if you're like severely obese. But if you're like just a normal person, okay, you could run a little cycle, but don't be an 18-year-old taking Retta because the homies are all taking it and going to the gym and da-da-da. It will make you flat. If you're like an average health person and you start taking Retta and then you're trying to like get cut, it'll like ruin your muscle fluidity. It makes you very flat because it messes with your glycogen storage. But so if you do have problems, if you have fatty liver, if you got insulin, you know, resistance, if you got, you know, if you're fucking huge, if you're fucking 600 pounds, cool, yeah, try microdosing Retta, start at like 1 milligram, work your way up. Probably don't go higher than like 6. It takes a lot of time to, you know, saturate your receptors, and don't stay on it for more than 6 months, man. Beyond that is like you're asking for problems with your mental health, is my take. And then, in my opinion, Clo and the KPV from the Clo is the most interesting peptide. It has the most potential to heal problems that a lot of the medical industry doesn't want it to heal, like Lyme, bacterial stuff, biofilms. Biofilms are kind of like the root cause of a lot of this stuff, of Lyme, of ulcerative colitis, Crohn's. They all kind of, because biofilms are like this matrix sticky substance that attracts bacteria, pathogens, all the BS, and this KPV is can go into this stuff and turn off the switches, and it just kind of leaves. And it's pretty cool, man. It's changed my digestion. It's changed my bloating. I could eat more stuff. That's really good. So I'd put Clo as my favorite. KPV, really good. I think GHKCU, which is a copper tripeptide in the Clo, is also really good. I think there's kind of like similar to a lot of the different what do they call them? Minerals. Is copper a mineral? I think it is. I know we're short on iodine, right? I was reading something many years ago. A lot of people supplement like Lugel's iodine and stuff like that for the thyroid. And there was in the 1920s or 1930s, all of the pools in America, the swimming pools, they didn't used to clean them with chlorine. They used to clean them with iodine. I don't know where I'm going with this, but they're both halogens, whatever. But like, there's a shortage of iodine. There's a shortage of like a lot of minerals in the American body because of how poor the soil is, how polluted all the food is, the water supply is polluted. So we're really short on minerals. And copper is something that helps a lot of people with bad skin, and it's also helps on a deeper level when you look at how it helps skin. It helps collagen and elastin. And I think the next big wave of like health guru stuff is dealing with fascia. This is a whole nother video, but fascia is basically like the jelly-like substance that surrounds everything in our bodies. Like our nerves, our organs, our muscles, they're all surrounded by fascia. And like I was saying, Retta actually dehydrates your fascia. So it has a negative effect on your ability to work out and stuff. And GHKCU, in my opinion, helps rebuild healthy fascia because it works with like collagen synthesis and elastin, and it helps like kind of regrow. Fascia is like 30% of your entire body weight, and it surrounds everything in your body, so it's important. So I'd go Clo, KPV from the Clo. The GHKCU in there is really important. BPC is amazing. Don't take oral BPC. Yeah. I took oral BPC for a while. The most bioavailable oral form is BPC 157 arginate, which is I don't know if they combine it, but they like isolate it's like a 27 amino acid chain of BPC, and they combine it with arginate or arginine or something like that. And look this up. Like if you look up arginine overdoses in the human body, they can bring up cold sores, they can ruin your skin, they can mess with your mind, make you a little depressed. I took like really high dose BPC oral arginate for like a few weeks, and I was like super depressed, had breakouts in my skin, just really bad stuff. Yeah, so that's peptides. I think GLP-1's a little bit overrated. I think they're really only good if you're obese, and you should really only cycle them for 6 months or so. And if you're young, stay away from them. BPC, TB500, GHKCU, KPV are amazing for gut issues, autoimmune issues, mast cell issues, Lyme, bacteria, biofilms, ulcerative colitis, any of this stuff that you have going on inside of you. Definitely experiment with those. And then lastly, I think there's a bunch of experimental ones that are cool. I think thymosin alpha-1 is cool. It's actually used in a lot of different countries as like an adjunct to antibiotic therapy. Like people that have sepsis, I think in like Vietnam or somewhere in Southeast Asia, they administer through IV thymosin alpha 1 as they give antibiotics. And it's like a synergistic effect on being able to modulate the immune system and it's like turn T cells on or something, but it's able to turn down the effect of an infection as it's spreading throughout your body cellularly. So thymosin alpha 1 is cool. What else is cool? Peniolon. A lot of people are into that one. It's like it helps your sleep and stuff like that. I really don't like that one. It has a weird effect on your ability, on your serotonin. And if you're on, another thing about GLP-1s, if you're on depression medication or, SSRIs and all that stuff, don't take GLP-1s. It's going to completely blow your brains out. None of this is medical advice, but, and I'm not on those things, but I've just seen horror stories. And when you think about it logically, you just don't want to be messing with your neurotransmitters and the hormones so much, you know? And SSRIs, and then you're messing with dopamine blunting, and it's like, it's too many things at once, and you're just gonna go loco, you know? Peniolon I don't like because it messes with serotonin. I got really bad headaches, and I became super lazy and unmotivated. If you look up serotonin syndrome, I feel like I had that from doing Peniolon. Epitalon, some shit like that. That one's okay. I've taken that one before bed. It helps like regulate your circadian rhythm. I think it works with like melatonin production. It's pretty cool. Another cool one is LL37. It's an antimicrobial peptide, AMP, and it's supposed to be as powerful, if not more powerful, than doxycycline, which is like the most commonly administered antibiotic. It's cool, but the one thing I'll say about LL37 is it's pro-inflammatory. So a lot of time if you look at, I don't know, people are like, oh, antioxidants, and I'm eating grapes, or I'm eating chocolate, they have antioxidants. The purpose of antioxidants is they reduce inflammation, right? And like they're anti-inflammatory. But when you get into pro-inflammatories like LL37, this peptide, this AMP, antimicrobial peptide, it's very strange. If you've never had a pro-inflammatory substance, it's like it basically increases the inflammation in your body so that you're, how do I explain this? It's like if you got a cut on your hand, right? Your body increases the inflammation in this area to send all the T cells and all the fixers to this one area. It increases the inflammation. It's pro-inflammatory, so all the helper cells can come and heal it and fix it up. So when you inject LL37, it's cathepsin. It's something we naturally produce in our body. But when you inject it, it basically makes your entire system pro-inflammatory. And I'd never experienced this. But I was taking, 2-3 days of LL37, and it was just like, boom, like my brain felt like I was on fire, dude. And it made everything inflamed. Like my joints felt stiff, my brain felt incredibly fogged, and like it was heating up. It was just a very weird experience, but it did help me pass like some kind of virus thing. So, yeah. So I don't know. Just kind of wanted to make this video because I kept getting banned on TikTok talking about peptides. And I work with a company, and I get a little percentage off or of your deal or whatever, and everything's reasonably priced. The testing's good. We've been running it for like 6-8 months now. You can check it out. The link is in my bio. If I were you, I would get Clo. I would get BPC and TB500 if you have any type of joint issues. Like I got a bunch of friends on that who are like into fighting and boxing, etc. And it heals you up pretty quickly. And then if you have real problems, like if you have fatty liver or diabetes or you're 600 pounds, yeah, Retta's gonna help you, but stay to like a 6-month cycle and start low and move up. And look at my bio, and there's a guide for doing Retta. It kind of walks you through like stuff you want to do, stuff you don't, stuff you shouldn't do, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'll post more peptide related stuff because it's something I'm personally really interested in. I've always been interested in health, and it's very difficult to talk about health in the openness that I enjoy talking about it on most social media platforms. Like all my videos on TikTok about health get banned, like, and then they flag my account and they're like, "We're gonna ban your account." Even on my main account, I made a video about Pectisol, which is very interesting. It's a binder that can bind to heavy metals. It's modified citrus pectin. It's basically like the peel from an orange that they grind up into a powder, and it has the molecular magnetism to bind to heavy metals and pull them out of your body. And a lot of the bigger problems like candida and fungus and bacterial imbalances in our body, they're finding that they're related to having residual heavy metals left in our system. So taking something like an MCP, like Pectisol, is able to pull that stuff out. Um, yeah, and I don't know if anyone remembers, I made a video maybe like a month or so ago, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so tired of everyone being fake," or whatever. When I made that video, I was in that depressive state of being on a really high dose of Retta. So that goes to show you like how bad it is. Like it makes you like question, why do anything? I'm not motivated. I was experiencing that anhedonia thing. That's why I deleted it, you know. But anyways, I'm all good now. And I do think peptides are worth exploring if you have health issues. And yeah, I'm gonna make more videos like this. It's just kind of broad. I'll be very surprised if anyone actually watches this whole thing because I rambled and I don't know how good the audio is. But I'm just gonna start doing these because, like I said, I can't talk this freely on TikTok. And I like talking freely, so freely the banana girl, man. Peace out.